Hello insiders. This week we're doing a little bit of a deep dive into a specific topic. So kind of let's call this one a sneak peek into the studio beta. I actually spent the last several days going through a lot of the feedback in the submit feedback link in the studio beta itself, and then also was following some conversations on Twitter about the studio beta, and I thought it would be helpful on the Insider channel to provide a little bit more context around some of the common questions that we're hearing about the new studio. So the first one, which is understandable, is, why are you doing this? Classic was working fine, why are you forcing me to go to this new thing? The reason is that at the end of the day, we want to provide as innovative and effective tools as we can to creators. And Classic has become really hard to work on from a technical point of view. It's probably close to 10 years old. And so if you think about it, might be like that 10-year-old laptop that kind of works, but you don't want to add anything to it because it's a little unstable or it's harder to make improvements to it. So Studio Beta is obviously built on brand new technology that allows us to maintain it a lot more easily, and just as importantly, perhaps even more importantly, add new features over the next few years much more quickly and in a way that might not have been possible had we kept keeping kind of Classic limping along. But for sure, this is going to be the hardest point of that kind of transition. It's a little bit like, if we stick with that laptop analogy, like moving from one laptop to a newer one, even though the newer one in the long run will be better, it does, let's say, take some time to get used to it. Kind of a little bit of the backstory on why we're moving from Classic to Studio Beta. The other common thing is like, okay, I get you need to do that. Why don't you wait till the new studio is perfect and then move us all over at that point? Short answer is that there is a hidden cost to having both platforms operating simultaneously, and there's really just no way around that kind of difficult transition. You just you have to make that leap. And now that we feel like, okay, we have all of the core journeys well supported in Studio, we've gotten over a year of feedback, we've been making improvements every month, we think the time to move everybody over is coming. And right now, actually, most YouTube creators are on Studio Beta by default. And so it's just a question of when do we get everybody onto the new platform. Another common question we've heard is, hey, but Studio Beta is missing. It's missing like crucial things, like it's missing end screens, or I can't add a video to a playlist, or I can't trim a video. Analytics, it doesn't have the ability to see real-time data. Those are all complaints that we heard very early on and acted on it. So as of today, today when we're shooting this, you can add an end screen in the Studio Beta. You can add a video to a playlist in the Studio Beta. You can see real-time data in the Studio Beta. I think with that, maybe there might be some real-time that's still coming over, but it's close to parity. You can also, edit your custom thumbnails in the Studio Beta. Like, all of these things were missing in the very, very early days of Studio Beta. But as I said, we've been adding features every month. And so now that list of things that aren't in the Studio Beta is getting much, much smaller. I would say even then, when we know that something isn't there, so for example, the ability to add captions, you can do from the Studio Beta. You basically select the video, select transcriptions, and then click add captions. It then opens up a view of the caption editor from Classic, but it does it in a way that doesn't make it feel like you have to leave Studio Beta. It's kind of contained. So even when we don't have something natively in Studio Beta, it's always within arm's reach. Much better to get to know Studio Beta now as your default. If you need to, from time to time, go to Classic, but really try and kind of use Studio Beta as much as you can. The next thing I've heard from creators like you is, I know that there is stuff in the Studio Beta, but it's hard to find. And I've heard this a lot, and I think the key thing there is understanding that the navigation model for Studio Beta is different than Classic. So for Classic, it's all about features first, and you go find the feature. Like if you want to do something with end screens, just go to the end screen editor. If you want to do captions, there's a captions option. The problem with that is that if you want to do, let's say, both of those things to the same video, the Classic model makes you kind of jump back and forth a lot. Whereas for the Studio Beta model, you first pick the video you want to modify, and then all of the things you can do for that video are then available on that left-hand menu, and they're basically, kind of deep linked into that video. Now, if you didn't know that, and you're like, hey, I want to add an end screen, and you go to Studio Beta for the first time, and you look on the left-hand side, you're not going to see end screens because you're at the channel level. You haven't yet selected a video. You're already seeing a growing list of exclusive Studio Beta features with the Studio Beta snapshot card, which I love, 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 not available in Classic. Ability to see your click-through rates for your thumbnails, already in Studio Beta, will never be coming to Classic. Ability to see known issues, news and Creator Insider on your dashboard. All of that is in Studio Beta. A lot of that is not in Classic and will not be coming to Classic. So I think those are the key points I wanted to get across for the Studio Beta. Maybe one other thing that I've heard people ask is like, whoa, well, when is this happening? Are you just gonna kill Classic, instantly? No, we're not gonna kill Classic instantly. I think our position is we want to get the Studio Beta to a place where we feel like it's appropriate to start removing access to Classic and then eventually deprecating it entirely. We're starting to move more and more, and in the next few months I'd imagine we'll move almost all creators in terms of to the Studio Beta as their default. You'll still be able to go to Classic through these embedded links or the general kind of access point to Classic in the bottom left-hand corner. At some point, that bottom left-hand corner, escape hatch, if you will go away as well. Because eventually, Classic needs to go away. Because the longer we keep Classic on, the slower it takes us to develop new things for creators. So I know we kind of already went over that, but it really is an important point. You kind of have to take that leap, and hopefully with your feedback and support, and also with the track record you've seen, for those of you who tried Studio Beta in early 2018 and you try it now, I think you'll see huge strides, and at that current trajectory, by the end of 19, I think you'll be delighted. But we gotta move people over. And with your partnership, we can do that in a way that helps your channel grow faster and reflects the input that you've given us. So thanks everybody for using that send feedback link in the Studio Beta, for commenting on Creator Insider videos, and for providing us feedback in those manners, because we do look at them on a very regular basis. Probably every few weeks we'll review what the top complaints are, what the top suggestions are, and we do actually tweak our plans and our priorities to kind of reflect that. So thanks again. Hope this was helpful, and keep it real.